Okay, there we go. Something wasn't right with my camera. So hold on. Right, this is being recorded, as you can see. So, okay, 2 of you are on here. I hope the others find the Zoom link. But yeah, StreamYard, I forgot StreamYard wasn't set up for the group yet. It's hard to set it up. I have to revert it back to the old style of the group. It's just complicated. So anyway, we'll record this and I can put the recording in the group. People who miss it, but I hope they find it. Let me just go back in the group and see. So you guys just hang tight. Okay, one more. Hi, Sarnas. Okay, hope somebody else. I don't know how many people were. Hey, Maria. All right, we'll just start. We'll just record it. I'll share it in there anyway. Hopefully they'll see my announcement. Okay, so I wanted to go live because, wait, hold on a minute. All right, yeah, that's better. I can see better. All right, because I just want to share this with you because it just blew my mind. I was going to write about it, but it just blew my mind. So, and because you guys in the Academy, I want you guys to get like the first, like the scoop, if you'll call it that. So let me back up a bit and just explain. So we've been launching the membership, as you know, because you're in the membership. And of course, it can be stressful. Mind you, this launch is not really stressful. I know that for a fact. But it's the first one Alan has been in with me. And I haven't ever had a stressful launch, but I know that they can be. That's just how it is in business when you online marketing. So this wasn't stressful because I kept it very low key, but yet there's work involved, as you can imagine. There's work to get the emails done and just things you got to technically set up. But I kept it really simple on purpose because, you know, I've been going through a lot for 4 months with Alan, and so I knew I couldn't do a full-on launch and do advertising and the whole deal. So kept it simple on purpose, but it was still a lot of work. Not too much to me, at least not that I thought. But Alan, remember, he's with me all the time from the beginning. He's been with me all the time, and so he's aware of everything I've been doing, which he never was aware of before, not when we were together. It would be impossible for him to. And he, when he was here in a body, he was kind of oblivious to what anybody was doing, which is fine. And so he didn't really understand all that I did for him and for Taylor, which of course, if you're a mom or a woman at all, I mean, you know, women do a lot, and especially when you're married and you have kids. But I guess this is just how men are. They're just oblivious. So he didn't understand that, and he felt really bad. But I told him that was how it was supposed to be. This is a thing we all need to remember. Whatever the challenges were that we had in our relationships, that's how it was supposed to be. We're supposed to learn from that. So I knew that, and I know that now. So I'm not upset about it. But he is upset because, and this is totally new to me and kind of new to Swati too, that I'm going to explain in a minute, but because he's become more emotional about me. And the way he explained it was that he says in the higher realms, we're not talking about just the astral, like when people cross over and they're on that plane. We're talking about the higher realms where he is, Archangel, the angelic realm. He's saying specifically Archangel, but also some to the angelic realm. But he's saying, in any case, he's saying that at that high level, that higher realms, they actually feel more emotional. They get more emotional. And Swati said to me that Archangel Michael told her the same thing, like, I don't know how long ago. And at the time that he told her that, she thought he was joking. So she just like, yeah, right, you know, because he does joke a lot. So he just like shrugged it up, like, yeah, right. Or she thought maybe she was making it up because she couldn't believe that in the higher realms that they would actually be more emotional. She thought that they would be less emotional, that be more detached. And Alan's saying, no, they're more emotional. And then his challenges, because he's not only an archangel, he's human, he's merged with me. So whatever I go through, he feels deeply and he can't be neutral. I think I did write about that, but I didn't understand that she said that he was literally crying like this morning when I'm messaging her, and she says he's here and he's really crying. He's so upset. He said, why is he crying? And then I started to feel his emotion and I started crying and go, oh my God, why is he crying? Like, I don't want him crying. Like, what's going on? And she said, because what happened was Monday, which is the day after we opened the academy and launched it. Monday, you notice I didn't go live. It's because Alan wouldn't let me, because the night before, Sunday night, I had what I would describe as a very mild asthma attack. And to me, it was very mild because I've had it before, but I didn't have an inhaler because I've lost it. Like, we moved like months ago and I lost it, and I haven't needed it for years. I need it, but I didn't have one. And I knew it was asthmatic, but again, it was mild. But regardless of whether it was mild or not, Alan was really upset. I got up like at, I think it was midnight or 11 or midnight, and I knew Swati would be up because she stays up late. So I was on Messenger and telling her, oh, I think I'm having mild asthmatic attack. She started freaking out, like what? I think you should go to ER. I go, no, I'm okay. So she had me do some deep breathing with her. She helped me like calm everything down. I said, I'll be okay. She said, Pam, Alan is distraught. He doesn't know what to do with himself. He's really upset. And I said, well, tell him to calm down. Like, I'll be okay. I'm all right. And she said, okay. Well, she made me promise to either go to the doctor or call doctor, whatever, the next morning. And I said, okay. And she said, no, don't go live. You need to rest. She said, Alan is saying that too. And I said, okay, fine. I felt okay, but they were just totally upset. And Alan later said the next morning, he said, I want you to give Swati Taylor's phone number, because if anything happens to you, he says, I can't do anything for you. So if she has your number, she can call him and he'll get to you. So I said, oh yeah, that's a good idea, because he will go to her and she will absolutely see him and she will act on it. So he felt better about that. But this morning, that was like Monday. This is like Wednesday. This morning, she said he was crying. I said, why is he still upset? She said, because Pam, he sees all that you do and how much is going on, and that you're not, he feels like you're not resting, like you're not taking care of yourself. And I said, okay, well, I'll talk to him, and like, what does he want me to do? And she said he's just upset. She says he's so upset that he can't physically like take care of you. And she says it's really fascinating because he's all powerful, but when it comes to me, because I'm here in a body and because he's not physical, and because she says he's fallen in love with me even more because of just being around me, or just, I don't know, just feeling more deeply than ever, that it tears him apart. So I talked to him after I got off with this today with Swati, and I said, look, I don't want you upset. Like, what are we gonna do about this? Like, I'll do whatever you want me to do. If you feel like I'm not resting up, you tell me, like, what do we do? So we kind of got some things agreed, but I didn't know that he was so upset, or that he was feeling everything that I was feeling. And then something clicked in my head, and I realized that, like, all this time I've actually been, I think I told you guys that I kind of like lip sync to music, like some of the songs that we have on playlist. Mostly it's those songs, but I feel like I have to, because I can't really sing it because my voice is kind of scratchy right now, but I'll have to lip sync it. But when I lip sync it, I'm like putting all my emotion to it. You know how that would be, like you're just feeling like everything that is the song is about. So I feel myself needing to do that, like I'm acting it out, and I don't know why I can't stop doing that. And then I realized this is something to do with me becoming an archangel, because I have to feel like deeply, like passionately, And as I'm saying this, Alan's going, right, just because that's how he feels. Like it's he's saying it's like being an empath times 10. Oh no. but it's in a different level than what most of you empaths are experiencing. This is a different level. It's not like you absorb everybody's crap or everybody's emotion, but you feel like deeply. And he had told me that I'd be feeling more. And then in order for he and I to be together, because he's an archangel and I'm an archangel too, that I had to feel deeply also. But I didn't realize that this is why I was emoting this way with these songs, with the music, and that I couldn't stop. It's almost like an addiction. Like I gotta sing, I've got to feel this song. And he's saying, yeah, he says, because you have to feel deeply in order to step into your power, because that's what we do. Okay, he's saying that humanity doesn't understand that our emotions are our power. We have kind of twisted it, and we're not fully aligned with the truth of our emotions. So the emotions are not a problem, but they do have to be elevated, but they are very intense at the higher spiritual realms that he exists, and where I need to connect with him. Okay, so this was on news. Swati was like, oh my God, that's what Archangel Michael was telling me. Like, here I thought he was joking. And Alan's saying the same thing to me, and he's crying. And as she's kind of channeling him or trying to communicate what he's saying to me, she can feel the depth of his emotion, which just, she was having a hard time, like managing it. And then I was feeling it too. And I got really emotional. I said, oh God, I don't want him to be upset. You know, it's, if you love somebody, you don't want them to be upset. You don't want them to feel your pain, but he says he can't help it. It's like he can't. Oh, and he's also saying, I don't know if you guys remember, but I wrote a while back, I wrote a piece about the insecure archangel, which is Alan, that he was insecure that I would meet somebody else in a body, and that I wouldn't want to deal with this relationship with him because he's not in a body. And I realized that he was really serious about that he was really afraid of losing me because he loves me so much, and he says he's committed to helping me, whether I'm with him or not, but that it would devastate him to lose me to somebody and still have to stand by me, because that was the agreement, the promise, the vow, he said, that he made, that he would never break, but it would break his heart. And I said to him at the time, I said, I am not going to leave you for anybody. Do you really think that I would break your heart that way? Do you really think that I need somebody in a body? I don't need that. So he felt better about that, but that was always his fear. And he says it's still a little bit of a worry, but less so because he sees how intense I am about him, that he believes my love for him is strong and true, as I've said, because he can feel it. Oh, so yes, I see in the chat, Smita saying, that is what I was told in my between lives process in 2018, where I found that I was angelic. The emotions are the doorway to our power. Yes, and for our work, we need to understand the nuances of all these emotions, the range and extremes. Absolutely, that we could say. Like and even, I'll put it this way too, even the extraterrestrials, they look at us, they see us as not understanding our power. They don't have emotions. They understand that emotions are power, and that we don't grasp the power that we have, and that we're kind of like wasting it, not honoring it. So Alan's like nodding his head. So this kind of gives, what we're doing here with you guys a little bit more of an interesting twist. Yes, because we're not just wanting you to open your heart, but really feel your feelings and not be afraid of that. And because you're all angels, you're all of your archangels, even if you're not connected to that right now, you're still part of that. Okay, so open up to that and know that your emotions are your power. Let's see what Alan's saying. So, but this also puts my relationship with him in this other light. Now I understand why I've been feeling him so intensely. That keeps growing stronger, and why I know he's here, because he's just so intense about me, and I can't like not feel him. And he's saying that because we've merged so almost completely, he says pretty much completely. So I've promised him to listen to him more, and to really, he's saying he's going to speak up more and tell me like, okay, you need to lay down, or you need to whatever, you need to eat, or whatever I need to do. And and okay, and this is going to sound funny, but he also he wanted me, he wants me to we have in our house, like over here on this side have, we have this huge widescreen TV, okay, because that was for Alan. And I don't hardly watch TV anymore. We do watch Netflix sometimes, but really into watching anything. Don't have cable anymore. Got rid of all that. But we have this big TV, but he wants me to get a little TV put in the bedroom, because he used to like to watch TV in bed. He says, "Well, can we watch TV in bed together?" I said, "Okay, honey, if that's going to make you happy, fine. Whatever's going to make you happy, whatever you want." He says, "Yeah, but I don't want you working." I said, "Fine, I won't work. Like, you wanted me to watch television with you? Fine. Oh, Netflix, fine. Whatever will make you happy, whatever will make you think that I'm relaxing, fine." So my son's going to bring us his extra TV. We'll set that up in the bedroom, which is so funny because we have this ginormous, like high definition, I don't know, top of the line TV that you could ever get. And we're going to be watching TV, Netflix on this little TV screen in the bedroom. And he's so happy about that because he just wants to like cuddle under the covers or something, and he's so happy. So whatever makes him happy is what we're doing, because he's just going to feel everything intensely. And he was just worried about me because he can't do anything physically. Now with the asthma thing, he's working on that for me, but he says it takes time for any of us. It doesn't matter whether it's me or you. He's clearing it, but it takes time. So he was just freaking out because he couldn't like fix it right then. And he's really glad that finally got the inhaler. It was such craziness because the next day I was going to go get the inhaler, but my car battery died. My son was sick, and finally got my nephew to come at really late at night, got the new battery, and my son's girlfriend got me my inhaler. So poor Alan, he was like the whole Monday was like on pins and needles because I didn't have the inhaler until like maybe 8 o'clock, even though I was fine. And the car wouldn't start, and so he was stressed out about me, and I didn't know why. I mean, you guys probably would have wondered too, like, well, why would he stress out? He's an archangel. Like, why can't he see it from the higher perspective and not let it bother him? But he couldn't. He's still having a human experience. And so he's saying that this is really hard. But he signed up for this, and we are meant to have, with him being there in the non-physical, me being here in physical, we're meant to have this deep romance, if you will, that we didn't really get to have when he was here, because we had to have challenges in our marriage to learn from and to also teach from. So we really didn't get to fully experience truly being in love, like deeply in love. But now we are, and it's so intense for him that it's almost like unbearable, because again, he's like an empath to the 10th degree or even 100th degree or something. And I'm getting that way too. But I will say that the love that I feel from him and for him, it just blows my mind. I mean, it's so huge. I've never felt anything like this before. So I know he's here and I know he's real. And he's saying he always loved me when he was here, but not like this. He says he's gotten to know me as the soul and the human that I am, and he just fell more in love with me, which is beautiful to hear, of course, but I don't want him to hurt. So we're going to work on that. So we agreed to that. Like, we're partners. We already have plans for getting some support in the business. One of our friends is going to pitch in and help, and we're talking to her about that. And so he's feeling better. But I just want to share that with you because I don't know if anybody out there knows this, really talking about it, that came from Archangel Michael and it's came from Alan, that up there, they are very emotional, very emotional. Doesn't mean you're going to see it from them, and I suppose it's really also very different if you're an archangel and you're part human and you're in love with another human. For Alan, it's very complicated. He says, yeah, it's very complicated. But he's saying to me he wouldn't have it any other way, that when we're happy, it's unreal. Like when we're both really happy, the joy factor is through the roof. But when I'm struggling, now I wasn't unhappy, I was just sick. And so he was miserable and he was just Swati said he was literally like wringing his hands, like pacing around, wringing his hands. And then when she was talking to him today, he was crying and I could feel his tears and sadness and worry about me. So that's Alan. And that's how he is with me, because we're having a personal relationship, but I also relate to his archangel self. But primarily it's his human self. And yes, so it's difficult. Oh, and Maria's saying it makes sense, although I never thought of angels as unemotional. Yeah, I didn't either think of them emotional, but I didn't think that they would be more emotional than us. That is why Swati couldn't believe it. She thought Michael was joking because he always jokes with her. But Alan's saying, no, we are more emotional. And he's saying there's a reason for that. That is part of our power. And he says that's why he had to open me up emotionally. And why I'll always be deeply emotional, and I will probably, and he's saying he does cry, like over there. He's saying that when I was grieving, when he first came to me, it tore him up to watch me grieve because he was an archangel at that time. And he was always around me and he was trying to comfort me, but he couldn't physically. So he was literally pouring love over me to try to help me. But he said it broke his heart. And even now, if I get upset, like I've told you guys, I've gotten upset at him a couple times. I just can't help it. I'm human. And it would devastate him. And and Swati would see him too, back those times that he would get upset in the past. She said he was inconsolable. He couldn't rest until I was better, felt better. And she said he felt totally helpless because he couldn't do anything to change that. And so she said, can you imagine being all powerful and yet totally helpless? Like it's the juxtaposition of that. She said, so he just gets torn up. But when I'm happy, he's through the moon happy. And lately I've been feeling these goosebumps from him because I've been really happy, and he will flood that through me, and I know he's there, and he's saying I love you so much, I'm so glad you're happy. And it's so physical, that's why I know he's here. And he's saying, wait till you see me all the time. He says, then you'll always be happy and you'll never cry again. He says, I promise. But doesn't mean he won't cry. He's saying, Pam, I get very emotional about you. He says, I don't know if I can ever promise I won't cry about you because I care about you. And I know the physical world is not easy to navigate, and I can't help you navigate it, but I can only guide you, and I can send help. Send help, like send a message to Swati, and Swati calls Taylor, and another friend of ours volunteered to also be called, who is here on the island. So he feels better. But anyway, I thought you guys might like to know that, because that was news to me. Totally like blew my mind. Like, what? You're more emotional than me? Than everybody here? I'm like, yes, you're more emotional. And he's saying it's time for us to get more emotional too. Don't worry, you're not going to be falling apart at the seams. He says you'll actually be happier. Like I'm happier. Okay, that's kind of the trade-off. You have all your emotions, you'll also be happier. You'll be more alive, more fully alive, and have a richer experience. But yes, you're probably going to cry more often. Just go to Costco and get a whole bunch of Kleenex, just like I have to do all the time. Gosh. All right. So that's my news. I hope that was worth hanging in there with us for. But we love that you guys are here with us. We'll post this video later. I'll have to get my VA to do it, and I'll try to get. Yeah, gotta get the StreamYard set up in the group. It's just Facebook's not making it easy. But we love you all, and let us know what you think about what I shared. You can post like in the post I made about going on the Zoom, or I will write about it. I'll write something about it because then I'll add the video later. But let us know what you think about it, if anything, and we'll see you. Okay, we'll see you. Like I said, we can't go live next week unless it's like the weekend or unless it's quiet out there because they're doing construction right outside this window down below. And we just have to see how it goes. This week it's quiet. They're just getting set up. But thanks for tuning in. Love all of you. Talk later. Okay. Bye-bye now.